Zimbabwe, welcome to LiveTalk, The Connection, a platform where we discuss issues affecting young people. We are coming to you live from Studio 7 at the Voice of America in Washington. I am your host, Taboka Ngube. Today we are discussing career guidance for young people in Zimbabwe, this at a time when there are high levels of unemployment in the country, with the government encouraging young people to create work opportunities. But first, a look at what's happening in other parts of the world. In Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, inventor Newlove Kushiator is trying to make life easier for his fellow citizens by creating all kinds of machines from cast-off parts. VOA's Gilda Star has this story from Ouagadougou, and Jackson Vunganyi narrates.
In the Tadzie neighborhood of Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, Newlove Kushiator is working on a machine that weaves the traditional cloth known in the country as Faso Damfani.
The operating system is powered by a motor that rotates the entire machine. Everything is mechanized. I'm currently at about 80%, and I just need to install the main motor.
8 days later, the machine is ready for delivery to a local weaver named Ouagadougou.
You can start the machine, do your household chores, sometimes stop it or leave it running while picking up your children from school. It's a good idea to help us, the weavers.
Since 2008, Kushiator has been making things like traffic lights and ice-making freezers. He uses his mechanical skills to turn found materials into useful items. He has created over 15 different types of devices.
I really like what he does in his business. He creates many inventions. He also trains young people, makes machines for irrigating vegetable gardens, and does some welding too. He does almost everything. I'm proud of him.
Kushiator says he wants to expand even further and can do more.
We work in a workshop, but we should be working in a production unit to set up units for rapid production. That's our current challenge.
It's also a family business. His son, Feiko Kushiator, also dreams big, like his father.
I would like us to have a production unit to create our machines in large quantities, to make at least 100 machines in a month, so that we can fulfill our orders.
Kushiator says he's making a good living, and there's plenty of work to do. He even admits he sometimes has trouble delivering his inventions on time. To solve that problem, he wants to start sharing his engineering skills with young people so they can help him with the backlog of orders. For Gilda Star in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, this is Jackson Vunganyi, VOA News.
Please stay tuned as we take a brief break.
In times of change, when the world seems uncertain and what we hear doesn't reflect what we see, we seek the truth. When we are told only part of the story, we lose trust. In moments of crisis, our dreams, hopes, and wishes for a better tomorrow depends on a free press. At Voice of America, we bring you the stories that people take risks to see. We connect the world and unite it with truth. At Voice of America, we show you the whole picture.
For those that have just joined us, please note that we are streaming live on our Facebook pages, VOA Shona, VOA Studio 7, and VOA Ndebele. We are also live on YouTube, VOA Zimbabwe. Now back to our topic. Today we are discussing career guidance for young people in Zimbabwe, including the role of parents, teachers, mentors, and the youth in choosing jobs. But the big question for most people is, who makes the final decision when it comes to choosing a career? And now to discuss this issue in detail, we are joined in the studio by Rachel Kwainona, founder of organization Loud Silence. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
We are also joined by Tadzie Madzima, the founder and director for Ignite Youth Organization, on the phone. Welcome to the program, Tadzie.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. Let's jump right into it, Tadzie. Looking at career guidance, why is career guidance important, and who has the responsibility to ensure young people get guidance?
All right, thank you for that question. So career guidance is important because young people need support when it comes to the direction that they can take with their careers, and they need to get that mentorship and advice for them to make the best choices. Through career guidance, they're able to identify and know what opportunities are available to them. We are now living in a global village where there are a lot of opportunities now available, not just locally, but also internationally. So the idea with career guidance is to open up the minds of young people so that they're able to see all the opportunities that are available to them when it comes to career choices, and then to guide them in terms of which career choice would be the best one for them to choose based off their skills, talents, gifts, and interests.
Thank you, Tadzie. We've seen a situation where sometimes these roles have been mistaken, where we find parents and sometimes teachers or mentors wanting to make the final decision on which career path a child has to take. What's your take on that?
All right, so this is what usually happens a lot, especially in the Zimbabwean context, where we have parents wanting to make decisions on the behalf of their children in terms of which careers they must go for. So because we're living in a patriarchal society, there is this understanding or mentality that it is the parents or the father who makes the final decision in terms of what direction a child goes. And so what that does is it silences the child in terms of the child feeling like they have a voice in terms of which direction they want to go. And at the same time, most children are then forced to choose careers that their parents want them to do, but they themselves don't want to do. And you find that when that happens, a lot of other factors come into play. There's an issue of mental health where they're no longer happy because they're studying something that they don't enjoy. Secondly, they are not looking forward to their career because they have been forced to do something that they do not find an interest in. And thirdly, they might not, the chances of them succeeding in a career that they have been forced to pursue are slim. So that's why you find sometimes after they finish the degree, they never even pursue the career that they were forced to do by their parents. So when it comes to career guidance, it's important that parents take into consideration what their children want to pursue and what their children want to study. Because forcing a child to do something that they are not interested in has got some really bad repercussions down the line.
Thank you, Tadzie. Rachel, you have been in the U.S. for a few months now under the Community Engagement Exchange Program. Yeah. During your time here in the U.S., what have you learned on career guidance? Where are we getting it wrong at Zimbabwe? What lessons do you think we can draw from your experience here in the U.S.?
I think just like to reiterate what Tadzie was saying, when it comes to issues to do with career guidance specifically on young people in Zimbabwe, is that there is need for career guidance assessment and career guidance counseling at A-level or ordinary level high school students or young people in general, because there's need to mold. It could be a controversial thing to say to mold a young person, but at least to assess them and ask them what they really want to do in the future. Some of us didn't really get career guidance. We just had to shoot our shot out of the situation and found myself here. But I'm very glad that I had my parents who supported me to take a career path in media and do things that I'm very passionate about. However, there is need for assessment when it comes to young people, to ask them what they really want to take and create those kind of programs where young people can go and ask and feeling free to be able to ask whoever is in charge to help them and assist them in finding their career path.
Thank you. Tadzie, coming back to you, Rachel raises a point here on helping students maybe at primary level or secondary level. What's your take on this one? What do you think, at what stage do we need to start career guidance? It can be the parents at home, it can be the teachers, it can be mentors. At what stage do you think it's important to start shaping a career, or rather guiding young children so that they take the path that's beneficial for them?
Career guidance should start even at primary school. The way in which it is administered even at primary school can be different from the way it is administered at secondary school, in the sense that, whenever for example, when we're doing career days at primary schools, where we are showcasing different careers, and we ask the kids to come with show and tell. They're coming dressed in a career that they might want to pursue. That's a way of inspiring them. That's a way of teaching children about careers, because it needs to start at a young age, because that's where the inspiration starts from. But obviously, the way in which career guidance is done at primary school and the way it's done at secondary school is different, because at primary school, what we are doing is we're exposing the children to the world of career, so that they actually know, oh, I can become a doctor or a vet, or but the whole idea is to expose and open up their minds, right? And I think that the goal at primary school is different from the goal at high school. The goal at primary school is just for them to start exploring, learning, and being curious, because children are curious. It's their parents going to work every day. They're wondering what's going on, so they are slowly, they just to be opened up to the idea of career guidance at a young age, but it needs to be done in a fun, creative, engaging way that relates to children of that age. Then when it comes to high school, that's a different way of administering career guidance, because at that point, they are now at the stage where they need to now select which subject they're going to do, or combination they're going to do that's going to help them with the direction that they want to go. So the pressure of the right choices in terms of subjects and so forth only starts in high school, right? So that means that at that stage, the type of career guidance needs to change. So now we're looking at what clubs the high schoolers need to attend so that they can pursue the right careers, what combination they need to select, which universities are they targeting, what scholarships are available for them, which fellowships can they apply for. So it's a different type of career guidance in that when it's high school, because it's looking more at the future of where they are going. So career guidance should start both primary.
Thank you.
That's different.
Thank you, Tadzie. Rachel, coming back to you. Turikuona kuti apa kana zvichizotanga maybe at primary level. Issue yema relationships it comes into play. Ukama uripo pakati pevana nevabereki, vana nevadzidzisi. Do you see a challenge here in Zimbabwe kuti dzimwe nguva instead of kuti vabereki vange vachiterera zviriku kana vachiona maitiro evana kuti this is the path mwana yaangatora, but vabereki sometimes they vanoisa zvishuviro zvavo pamwana. What's your take on that, and looking at situation yemazimbabwenzi vechidiki kuti is it not one of the factors iri kukonzeresa kuti sometimes vanhu vasazobudirire later in life?
Yeah, panyayo you find that pane rigidness karipo, and I think it's due to our culture and how we have created the educational system, or basically the system yatinayo mu Zimbabwe. So you find that sometimes a parent would want to live their life through their child, but at the end of the day, you find that that can hinder progress for a child, because retaliating, like what Tadzie was saying, you catch them young. And we need to understand as Zimbabweans or parents, kuti mwana nokwanisa kuchuza, kuti you know what, I want to do sports or arts. And as we know, arts is something chinotariswa pasi, because also, you know, and having to look down upon something chekuti it's a talent chekuti mwana arikuda kuita, you know, carry their to take that pathway. It's easier to destroy that passion in a child when they're young, because there's no support. As much as we want to talk about career guidance, we are talking about the influences that comes in creating like that career path. So you find it from your family, friends, parents, and parents are the pillar in a child's life. So if there is support, at least that child knows, okay, if I'm going to do art, I have support. If I'm going to take this path in, whether it's video editing, whether it's dance school, we should put more effort and resources into those things, so that mwana knows that, okay, fine, if I'm not going to be a doctor or a lawyer, because those are the most basics that people, especially our parents, want us to become, there is so much more. The world is evolving. We are getting into a modernized world where there's a lot of things that are happening and more opportunities are coming up that are not as rigid as what we used to think like 20 years ago. But now the world is becoming, you know, digital, for example. So, you know, young people have more options, but we need to open those gates to allow young people, to even tell them and give them access to that information, to say, hey, you can choose this pathway into the digital space, for example. You can actually make money and follow your dream at the same time. So there's need to be more flexible as parents and even as young people, to give them that access and that space to grow.
Thank you, Rachel. Tadzie, pane nyaya iri kutaurwa na Rachel panapa yekuti we've heard this statement nguva dzakawanda yekuti vamwe vabereki vanoti aiwa zvemagitari ndezvechirombe, hazviite kuti unge uchipinda mubasa iroro, yet some people are really talented panyaya dzakadaro. How can we deal with my issues akadaro, where really vabereki maybe they are justified because they are trying to secure a future yemwana yekuti ange achigona kuwana mari pabasa raari kuita? How do we create a balance when it comes to mari ne passion yevanhu, also looking at kuti vanenge vachityirawo environment kuti hapana mabasa, saka mwana achaita sei? How can we maneuver a situation like that?
Okay, so I think the most important thing is the idea with career guidance is to show parents that there are opportunities in those sectors. Yes, tinonzwisa kuti zvemagitari zvachoni and so forth. Pane stereotype iripo yokuti mwana akadecida kuti ada kuti ari zvemagitari hakuna kwachaenda muupenyu. Stereotype iyoyo inofanira kuchinjwa, because takugara in a different age, right? Panama opportunities akawanda are available for my parents.
Timbo ku bata muromo mchana pane caller yapinda. You will continue after the caller. Hello caller. Hello bless. Ngiyaphila linjani lingenile kuhlelo libona njani udaba esixoxa ngalo namhlanje?
Kanti ubingelela nje abalaleli ndingelele nabaphathela abaphathisidize labathaka bakhona ayitha udaba esixoxa namhlanje ukuthi intsha ithola amathuba njengoba disithuta amabhizinisi nanani. I think kumele siqale sort out indaba ye-corruption. First of all, njengamanje eZimbabwe siba ne-corruption eningi ezenza ukuthi thina singabasha singaphumeleli mhlawumbe entweni esasifuna mhlawumbe kumabhizinisi kusetshenziswa shell. Njengamanje ibhizinisi yaseZimbabwe manje uma ufuna ukuthi uthole imali ukuboleka imali amabhenki kumele ube ngwezana PF, kumele ube nekhadi. Into leyo ibulala thina, so kwamele mangabe beqale belungise lokho ukuthi nathi sikwazi ukuthola ama-business opportunities nama-skills sinawo nama-skills amaningi. Yeva ama-skills amaningi esingathi uma singawafaka endlini lakithi mhlawumbe siwasebenzise singakwazi ukuphumelela. Kodwa ngendaba yokuthi kune-corruption abantu asikwazi ukuthi manje noma ngasuka lapha nginemali ekhaya ngiphinge ukuthi ngiyazama ukuboleka imali emabhenki ukuthi nami ngikwazi ukuthi ngize ngiphisane ukuthi nama-skills eyazingawo lapha e-diaspora kuba nzima ukuthi ngiyithole leyo mali. Kwamele ngibe nomuntu oyabe ngimazi abephezulu esikhundla esiphezulu ukuthi mhlawumbe sithi angifaki muntu kodwa sengingasho nje kuphezulu ukuthi kwamele ngithole umuntu abephezulu mina ukuthi ngikwazi ukuze ngithole lelo thuba lokuboleka leyo mali. Siyakwazi vele ukuthi vele eZimbabwe yonke into ingepolitics. Even noma manje uzama ukuthi uyenze something kwamele uqale kupolitics. So leyo nto leyo ama-opportunities esinawo nolwazi esinalo thina sesiphile nzima. Yino ukuthi abantu abala ku-diaspora, the most of them, even they are searching qualified because those people bahamba izindlela ezibuhlungu besuke emakhaya until befika lapho baphila impilo yesisotha. Ukuthi ama-talent amaningi nezipho eziningi abazifunde lapha egolide kakhulu ukuthi uma bengabuya khona lapha ekhaya kungabi ne-corruption. Ngendaba ye-corruption ukuthi vele uma ufika ekhaya kwamele kube lo mazi ophezulu. Kunzima ukuthi sithuze imisebenzi esidingayo lokuthi sisebenze amakhono esinawo. Sifanawo amakhono sizalwa sinawo sizesenawo amanye kodwa siyokufa lokho siphethe amakhono lawayo. So indaba ukuthi sithole imisebenzi e-right esizikhethelayo nokuthi siyenze amakhono ethu abalungise kuqala i-corruption. Kulungise i-corruption ingabi khona vele i-corruption eZimbabwe. Kube nje kuye wonke umuntu nje
siyabonga
indlela e-right.
Siyabonga mfowethu hayi siyakuzwa sibili uyichaye ekhanda laphana wathi siza ukuthi labo bengenelisa ukuphathisa na nxa sikhangela lolu daba. Siyabonga ukuthi usixhumile mfowethu Bless use South Africa. Coming back to you, Tadzie, you can continue expressing a point there. And our caller also raised the issue around corruption and funding opportunities, where some people are saying, yes, talent is there, but it becomes a challenge when it comes to funding. Kuti ndinenge ndine talent rangu rekugadzira zvinhu zvakasiyana-siyana asi kuti ndiwane funding zvinobva zvarema and ndotadza kuenda mberi. Tadzie, you can go ahead. Hello, Tadzie.
I couldn't understand the language. So, sorry,
I raise the issue ye corruption ne funding opportunities kuti some people vano share funding even talent riripo muna kana share funding otadza kuzoendera mberi. Now the question is, how do you then maneuver pama situations akadaro?
All right, so in terms of funding, you're going to university here kana kuti
in terms of funding, yeah, even my business opportunities, even kuti like looking at situation here, kuti there is high unemployment rates in the country, and kuti munhu awanewo pekutangira pekuti maybe angaita riri business or something. So you can continue with the response that you were giving before, and then if you can also respond to what our caller raised there.
Okay. All right. So I understand that things are not easy in the country, and the economy makes it very difficult for young people to opportunities that are available, even for parents. I know that there is temptation to fall into corruption. However, I do believe that the challenge is not. I feel like part of the challenge is lack of understanding and exposure to what is available for young people. So, for example, we have Rachel who has traveled to the U.S. on this U.S. Embassy funded program. But it also took an effort on her part to do her research to find out what opportunities are available for her in her career path, for her to be able to be paid with the right mentors, and for her to know what opportunities exist for her that go beyond just being in Zimbabwe. So what I do believe is that when it comes to the idea behind career guidance is not necessarily that we're saying that we are just looking at opportunities in the country. We're looking at global opportunities and where the world is going. Right now we have young people who are working from home remotely, and yes, they're working for companies based outside of Zimbabwe. They're working for companies based in Germany, in the US, in South Africa, and so forth, because now we are living in what I call the global village. So what we are doing with career guidance is that we're trying to expose young people to the opportunities that are now available for them. If they're not able to find an opportunity locally, they can find an opportunity globally. And all they need to be able to do is to get the career guidance and the training in order for them to do that.
Thank you, Tadzie. Rachel, as we conclude the program, any nuggets that you can share with young people on the main things that you have learned so far in the U.S.?
So far what I've learned in the U.S. is that, of course, there's a lot of convenience, and as someone who is learning a lot of ROPS and skills in soft skills in the digital media, all I want to say is that retaliating again to what Tadzie was saying, there are many opportunities globally as well, and me being here, I get to experience and to see what the global North is all about and what it offers for someone like me as a young woman in the media space, and also just maybe advice for young people back home, specifically young women and girls. There's need for you to be an active young participant for your own life, because at the end of the day, we want our own stories as Africans, as young women, to be told, and no one is going to save you if you're not going to put effort into trying to find something for yourself. Yes, there might be issues of lack of opportunities, and you might feel like as a person, but there's always a way to find that gap in the market where you can put and where you can align your goals and align yourself. It's a matter of that career guidance that is being talked about, that we are talking about today, to say that you need that guidance.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Let me take this opportunity to thank you, Rachel and Tadzie, for coming on the program. Unfortunately, we are out of time, and that brings us to the end of our show. Signing off in Washington, I am Taboka Ncube.